Heartbreak, the season of the heart. When a husband fails to keep his wife happy, the woman seeks emotional comfort in someone else's company. The dimmed shades of evening slowly crept across the walls of the room. The curtains swayed gently, as if trying to hide a silent sorrow. Saima stood before the mirror, a faint smile on her lips and countless unspoken dreams in her eyes. She applied lipstick, then paused. For whom? A whisper rose from within. It had been 3 years since her marriage. Her husband, Salman, was a successful businessman, always busy with meetings, phone calls, and files. When he came home, he was tired, silent, and distant. He would eat in silence, scroll through his phone, and fall asleep without a word. Their conversations had died long ago, only silence lived between them now. Saima often lay awake at night, staring at the ceiling, wondering. Does every woman become just a responsibility after marriage? Is love only something written on paper, never actually lived? There was a hollow inside her, deep, aching, and empty. One day her old friend Faria said, "Saima, you've changed so much. You used to laugh all the time. Now you barely talk. Let's go out for coffee tomorrow, you need a break." Saima smiled weakly and agreed. The next day they met at a cafe. Steam rose from her cup of tea as she sat quietly, lost in thought. A man sitting at the next table closed his book and looked at her with a kind smile. "Do you think tea can really lighten your thoughts?" he asked gently. Saima looked up, startled, but there was no mischief in his tone, only warmth. "Maybe," she replied softly. He smiled. "I used to think so too, but sometimes, it's not tea, it's someone's words that ease the heart." His name was Arif, a writer who lived in the world of words. That first meeting lasted only a few minutes, but something stirred inside Saima that had been asleep for years. A feeling she had long forgotten. Soon, their brief encounter turned into longer conversations. Sometimes they met at the cafe, sometimes they spoke on the phone, sometimes just exchanged messages. Arif listened, truly listened. "Saima, you carry so much pain within you, but you hide it behind your smile." Her eyes filled with tears. "Maybe you're the first person who has ever spoken to me like I actually exist." Days turned into weeks. Arif's words became part of her day, like breath. Salman remained the same, quiet, indifferent, distant. One night, Saima tried to talk to him. "Salman, don't you feel like we've become two strangers living under one roof? You don't care about me anymore." Salman didn't look up from his phone. "Saima, I'm busy with work. Don't start unnecessary conversations." His words pierced her heart. That night, Saima didn't feel lonely, she felt empty. She knew her closeness to Arif had grown beyond casual talk. This was no longer comfort, it was connection. And that scared her. One evening Arif said softly, "Saima, sometimes I wish I could feel your presence, not through words, but in reality." Her heart trembled. She knew this was a dangerous boundary, but she couldn't deny what she felt. She looked at herself in the mirror. "Am I wrong?" she whispered. "Or is he wrong, the one who's kept me deprived of affection for years?" Arif made her laugh again. She began to wear brighter clothes, smiled more often, started recognizing herself again. For a moment, life felt alive. But one day, Faria said something that struck her deeply. "Saima, the comfort you're seeking in someone else's company is temporary. Real peace will come only when you heal the wound inside you." That night, Saima cried for hours. Then she picked up a pen and wrote a letter to Salman. "Salman, I have always loved you. But you never truly saw me. I'm not just your wife, I'm a person, with feelings, dreams, and a heart. I wanted you to understand me, but you never tried. Today I'm leaving, not for someone else, but to find myself." When Salman woke up the next morning, the bed beside him was empty. The letter lay on the table. He stood still, reading it again and again, as if waking from years of sleep. Days passed. He asked Faria where Saima was, but no one knew exactly. All he learned was that she had moved to a small town, teaching at a local school. And every night, she wrote something in her diary. Arif never contacted her again. Perhaps he, too, realized that some loves are meant to exist only in words, not in life. Rose ending. Saima finally understood that sometimes a woman doesn't need another person's company. She needs her own. The love her husband never gave her could not truly be found in anyone else. Real peace came when she learned to fill her own emptiness. This story is the voice of every woman who doesn't seek luxury, she seeks emotion. And it's a lesson for every man who forgets that a wife is not just a duty, she's a heart that needs to be understood. Heartbreak. Wood.